Good evening, all. I am shimmering and brimming with love to unleash this continuation of Spanish author and psychologist Mili is streaming live on NEWSSPACE.in. Most welcome, Mili. Thank you for joining the show.
Namaskar. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Same here. We reciprocate the same. Mili, this episode is in continuation to the episode we had before. So, directly coming to the topic, I feel that many Indians undergo the inferiority complex, that they are poor, they are not that much rich, and you have seen both the poles, richness as well as poverty. I mean, not personally, but you have been a witness to both of these mindsets. So poverty is a mindset, poverty is a reality, or poverty is a constructed you created by the you of feeling yourself as poor.
It is a construct of the mind. It is a you created by the mind, which unfortunately has become generalized and rampant in India. But I must say that before living in India and traveling there so much, I have visited, maybe it's not too many, but 35 countries in the world. And I find Indians in general to be among the most intelligent people in this world, clearly, and also among the most generous in heart. But equally well, among the most pessimistic karmically.
So the pessimism is attracting negative things to them more and more.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you think, you attract. And
unemployment is a problem in India. A job is a problem in India. Many people think that they will not get a job, so will they'll die of starvation. How do you tackle these things, and how your book helps them to find themselves?
Knowing that whatever image you produce in your mind, you attract it. Let me give you one example that everybody can relate to. Okay?
Yeah.
How it happens that we attract what we think. When you have a wind-up clock, right? The ones that you wind up. You have two clocks. You have two watches that tell time with a slight difference. And after a while, they tell the same time. How is that possible? Because there is an energetic resonance. They meet their frequencies. That's exactly how the mind works. If you are thinking positive thoughts, that's one wind-up clock. And in the universe, you will attract like energies to match that frequency.
Very true.
This is what we call miracles. I mean, explain to me how I was told by 3 neurosurgeons that I would be paralyzed from the neck down if I did not have surgery. But I visualized myself and I saw myself perfect. And in less than 2 months, the doctors agreed that they did not have an explanation.
So how did it happen? Because of samadhi, yoga, meditation, good reading? Why?
Meditation and visualizing myself. I would close my eyes, go into deep meditation, see myself completely healed, and most importantly, gratitude. Thanking God before it happened. Saying, thank you for my healing. So this is a message I want to give to all Indians. You want health, you want love, you want economic prosperity, you want well-being. We all want that. Okay? Then think that, believe it, and be thankful for it before it happens. That is faith. Otherwise, this, oh my karma, blah, 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 that's called hope. But hope and faith are very different. Faith is, thank you, God. Thank you. I believe before I see. And that is within everybody's reach. And this is my wish for all Indians, really.
So, what is the difference between deep, dreamless sleep, the state of delta, sushupti, and meditation? Is meditation a conscious sleep?
Oh, no, no. Okay, there's a big difference. But there's a big difference in delta. From a scientific and psychological point of view, there is no awareness at all whatsoever of what is happening. Whereas in meditation, when you are in meditation, okay, let's give a very basics on brainwaves. In the waking state, we are in the beta state. When you begin to enter the meditation state, you are in alpha. When you are in deep contemplation, deep contemplation and meditation, it's theta. And only beyond theta is delta, which is deep sleep or anesthesia. So the advantage that deep meditation has is that if you have an idea in mind, for example, in my case, it was, I am healed. My neck is healed. I'm healthy. I'm fine. It was a big fat lie. It wasn't true when I was doing it. But this is what I visualized. And the advantage that this deep meditative state offers is that you can program anything you want. And let me tell you one thing. The reason why it works is because you are accessing the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind does not have any judgment. It only obeys. It only knows how to obey. And that's why it works.
So, what is there a difference between subconscious and superconscious mind?
Oh, absolutely. 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 Yeah. The subconscious mind is the storehouse of the totality of thoughts and emotions that you have had in the course of your endless lifetimes.
What is the role of intuition? Intuition.
And the superconscious is above it. It's not conscious mind, it's not subconscious, it's well above it. It's the voice of intuition. You're superconscious.
It is different from conscious.
Superconsciousness, I think, is in the end what we call is in the end your spiritual consciousness. And its voice is called intuition.
So this intuition, sixth sense, they are, how do they help, and can there be a method to understand sixth sense and intuition?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Meditation, meditate. You meditate. You meditate and your intuition awakens. Intuition is that small little voice that is always whispering into our ear and that we ignore. Wrong. But the more you meditate, the stronger your intuition becomes and the more you will pay attention to it.
So Mili, if a technique of meditation becomes mechanical, then what one should do? Like I tried Shambhavi Mahamudra, I tried Vipassana, I tried dynamic meditation, I tried normal breath watching. So every technique becomes mechanical, monotonous after a part of time.
You know what? You know why?
I don't know.
I think I learned the secret to that because you are harboring expectations.
So without doing anything, without a motive, without an expectation, it's quite difficult as far as normal humans are concerned.
No, you are there. No, because when you enter into meditation without expectations, you actually go into a state of absolute surrender. And that's where the magic happens.
Okay. So how have you described this matter in your book? Because your book will be launched in India very soon on different platforms. On Amazon Kindle, it's already doing very good. And in India also, we launch it with different facets, different platforms. So the conversation that we just had, how is it articulated in the book?
Okay, in the book, the book is intended to be understood by a 15-year-old or by a 95-year-old, regardless of their level of education. It is written in very simple language. In very simple language, in a logical way, providing scientific evidence wherever there is, and there is a lot, every day so more, quantum physics, neurophysiobiology, psychology, etc. And it's done in a way that, I mean, this is the feedback that I'm getting from readers in the United States, in Europe, and Canada, that it is very inviting for readers to like continue reading, and because they feel empowered. And the way let me just read to you two short little paragraphs from my short bio note here on the book. It says, after healing herself with the power of her mind, she discovered and experienced firsthand that we are the creators of our reality and possess an unlimited power to achieve whatever we desire. This realization propelled her to share this knowledge with the world, to empower others and free them from the bondages of an untrained mind. That's how You Are the Creator of You came to be. She's convinced that if she could do it, so can you, so can anyone. And it doesn't matter who you are.
Great, great.
And it doesn't matter if you're a university professor. It doesn't matter.
So do you think spirituality needs a level of intelligentsia also? A person has to...
No. No.
So is it easy to understand the non-dual? Like suppose you say you are creator of you. So if there is a you, there has to be a me. If there is a you, there has to be they. So me and you are in duality, and sometimes we talk about non-duality, advait. How do you bridge it?
Not forcefully, because it's. I think it's a question of semantics. It all depends on how you understand the you. You are the creator of you, referring to that you that is every single walking human being. Yes. It is the one and only reality, which is God, which is all of us. That's what I'm trying to say. That you is me, it's him, it's her, it's us, it's them, it's everyone. It's God. So
are you giving a responsibility of our own lives to the person who is reading? The person should be responsible of his own life, his or her?
100%.
So
or maybe at least more than 50% for sure.
Okay, so if a person is subjected to very hard circumstances, very tough situations, and somebody dies, suppose, or somebody has met with a heartbreak, at that time it is very difficult to digest this thing, and those circumstances also create a you. So how is your you different from the you that is created by tough circumstances and tough situations in life?
Because that is transient, that is temporary, that is not real. Anything that is transient, that is temporary, is not real. Anything that is changing does not belong to reality. Only truth is real.
So is the ego dissolving into the truth? Day by day.
Ego, no. Ego is part of the non-truth. It's part of the Maya. It's part of the story that we're told. And however difficult it may seem, it's a matter of trying to ignore the ego, leave the ego, and connect with your heart. God is in the heart.
Heart.
In the heart. God
so Mili, yeah, very true. I want to ask you one thing, like you are a psychologist by training, right?
Yes, correct.
So when you were not happy, you discussed in our previous show that there was a phase when you were not happy. So during those phases, when you are meeting patients who have some psychological problem, you are healing them, and you know deep within that you are also not happy. So how does that?
No, but at that time I wasn't working as a psychologist. At that time I was the manager of the space technology program. I was conducting very tough negotiations, multi-million euro negotiations on satellite and launcher contracts and things of that sort. Yeah. I was doing
awesome. We are really grateful that we have you here. Your background, your knowledge, your foundation is so profound that it's really an honor to share the screen with you.
For me, it's a pride and a joy to have connected with my Indian family.
So yeah. when you see somebody helpless, when you see somebody suffering, and you understand meditation, spirituality, how do you try to heal them? Do you offer your book to them? You give your verbal advice? How do you help?
First of all, I sent them compassionate love because that is a very potent energy. That's a very potent energy. You can help a lot of people without them knowing because it's energy, it's positive energy. So first, I sent them a lot of compassionate love. Second of all, I visualized them being perfectly well. And third, if it is in my power and they are receptive, because I am nobody to intrude into anybody's life, I offer them good advice and I say, you can do it. You are powerful. You can get yourself out of this. You create your circumstances.
So that power can be realized only via meditation, or there are other ways also, like prayer, like.
Exactly. This is what I describe in the book. It can be realized knowing where to act, knowing that you can eliminate your toxic emotions, keeping a healthy body and exercising, cultivating your emotional intelligence, loving yourself, living in the present, forgiving the past, and then practicing meditation, self-awareness, pranayam, meditation, visualization, automatic writing, conversations with a mirror, using what I call in the book the toolkit, which are seven tools I described in the previous episode.
Mili, there was an explosion in the West when there was an era of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Rhonda Bryan, The Secret, the Law of Attraction.
Yeah.
So, what you are talking about, is it a manifestation of Law of Attraction, some kind of like gets like begets like, or is it a different approach altogether?
I think my approach is far more holistic. These are not.
Pardon?
My approach is holistic. It is true that like attracts like, but as they say in English, there's more than meets the eye. Okay, that's okay. But if you have a poor self-image, or if you don't love yourself, or if you have no self-awareness, there is very little good you can do to yourself. And I think, because if you asked me, okay, why should I read your book? I mean, it's a tough question, but I like people to ask me that. It's like, okay, what makes your book special? What sets it apart from the rest? I will tell you. And that is that you'll find a lot like the law of attraction, The Secret, law of attraction, creative visualization. You find books on specific subjects, but there's rarely any book, if any, one single book that will explain to you in less than 200 pages what we're talking about, which is the mind, where you're supposed to act and what specific areas, and how, with what tools. And I think that is the novelty, that is the originality and the uniqueness of this book that was channeled through me from the divine dimension.
So when you see divine making your body a medium, you remain like a witness.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you decide the cover of the photo? Cover of the book. Can you show the cover?
Absolutely. Oh, it's a beautiful story.
So this cover, this photo, what made you choose this cover?
This is also something that was channeled from the gods. Why do I say this?
Heart.
Dekhiye. It is an individual standing on the earth.
Yeah.
The aura that this individual is projecting is a heart. Yeah. And then look at the red spot on his body, that is his heart. And his mind in blue.
Very
and out of his hands, the energy that is coming out are flowers.
Great.
So the story of this was that the publisher said, you have to define what photo you would like as a cover. And okay, I'm not a professional painter, but I love painting. I'm very sensitive to color and shape and form and art. So I thought to myself, my God, this is going to take me forever. And I started going through, you know, all these image banks, and I was, and it's like, it could be this, it could be that. I did not have a preconceived notion, but the very moment that I saw this picture, I said, oh, and guess what? I think it's an Indian artist. Now, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe it's a coincidence. So I was over the moon when I found that picture. I said, this artist did not know it at the time.
It is mesmerizing. It is
When the art
mesmerizing.
painted this, it was for my book. I know that
Great.
much.
Your cover is really mesmerizing. Your thoughts
Thank
are bewildering. I want to ask you that sometimes I feel that people read less, they watch more. Like it is said that color catches the eye. So people focus more on the video mode, on the podcast, and they read less these days. So do you think, am I right? People read less these days. People read less these days.
In general, I would say yes. And in general, I would say yes. That's why I am so happy also to, you know, still, I mean, this is a really fast, it's a fast read. The print is super large,
Yeah.
and it's 196 pages. Anybody can read that. But I'm also happy to participate and, you know, and collaborate with people like NEWSSPACE, which I think is a magnificent channel. You are doing, let me say, a wonderful job. And I'm sure that you will be getting loads of followers in Europe as well, and hopefully in the US and worldwide, because you do a fantastic job.
We are creating ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So it is very difficult to transmit meditation. Suppose a person who has not tasted sugar, no matter how many words we use, he will not be able to understand what is sugar. He can understand about sugar, but he cannot understand sugar till he tastes it. We can know a lot of things, but experiencing it is a different thing altogether. So how have you convinced people about meditation? Because without trying meditation, nobody can know the taste of it and the possibility of it.
Because my passion is contagious. And when they see the light in my eyes, when they see how much light I exude, that it is something that is real. You cannot package that.
Very true.
You know, and all you say is, you have all this within you. It's inside.
Very
Go
true.
within and open the door and look at it and feel it and enjoy it.
Mili, there is a confusion in my mind. Like when we talk about the law of attraction, there is an individual who's attracting, right? But you can ask only when you are different from the universe. You are the universe, then how
No,
can
you
you
are the
ask
universe.
from the universe?
You are the universe. You're part of it. This is just like you being an atom of oxygen, attracting an atom of hydrogen, or two atoms of hydrogen and making a molecule of
Becoming
water.
water.
Exactly. Exactly. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that.
So, what are your future plans? How do you feel like sharing the same bliss, same maturity, same understanding with the people who need it? So, what are your future plans? What
Yeah.
about your plans about India?
Yeah. So, okay. Right now I'm working on refining. I have a number of courses and workshops, and my plans are to go soon to India, hopefully by Durga Puja or Diwali, thereabout. And find and hopefully getting my book published in India by an Indian publisher, you know, in India, and God willing, if successful, which I trust it will, have it translated into Hindi, because that way I can reach far more.
I will do it, ma'am. I will do it.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I cannot begin to say how much I appreciate having met you and Mac and Sandanan. You're doing a fantastic job. It's very commendable. I love the energy, the young blood, the passion, and the enthusiasm that you put into every show you do. Great.
And what are your career plans? is it possible to earn money when you are so much into meditation? Because when you go on the floor, when you hit the floor, you have to meet many people who are not like-minded, and
Yeah,
your
slowly but surely, yeah, slowly but surely, yes. And also, when you keep compassionate love in your heart, it doesn't matter that people are not like-minded. I know that in this lifetime or the next one, everybody's going to become enlightened because that's what we all came for.
very true.
That is our karma. That is everybody's karma.
Any advice you want to give to new writers, aspiring writers, something to motivate them? Many people start the book, but they are not able to end it. They have a lot of thoughts, but they are not able to pinpoint it.
Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself because you are God. And it's possible.
Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. So, I mean, okay, I want to ask you, like, when you come to India, there are financial aspects also, because when you are in your job, when you are working, you don't have to care much about the bread and butter and your basic needs. When you have devoted your whole life to spirituality, your every breath to Shiva, is it easy to maintain and take care of the mundane and materialistic aspects as well?
Um, I do have to admit that for now I have to rely on savings to do that. I have to rely on the savings from that I get. But I do trust that I will do well. I think that this book it's now beginning. It's been only recently published, and it's being liked by a lot of people, and hopefully I will also be able, once it's set and rolling, to deliver my work. My like afternoon workshops or daily courses or weekend retreats in India. Hopefully.
Great. So I feel that I mean this love is unconditional. Your love is unconditional. You initially were unhappy, so your movement from unhappiness to permanent happiness, from a state of sadness to bliss, it did it happen with one incident or a group of incidents? How did you manage to remain a happy person 24 into 7?
When I really got in touch with myself and discovered that God was within me.
So can
That
it
I
be
have
proved scientifically also?
I don't care much for the scientific paradigm because I think it's obsolete.
Okay.
And what science could not demonstrate 200 years ago is a fact today. So
Yes.
I don't really have that blind faith in the scientific paradigm. What science
Yes.
cannot demonstrate today, it will in 200 years' time, but that is of no consequence to me.
The way
The
I see
reality
it,
for me is the reality that I know in my heart.
there is so much love that you don't care about it getting sold a lot. You don't care about marketing that much. It is
It,
love, and because of love, because of love there is also a kind of courage that is unparalleled. You don't care if
yeah.
it goes well, very good. If it doesn't go, it is desireless.
I think it has, once you write a book, it has a life of its own, it's on its own. But I know that because the message right there is for everybody, I have the confidence it will go well.
This confidence is coming because of the love and surrender and commitment to the divine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. The surrender.
So do you get engaged in the arguments with the people who don't believe in God, or you just
No, no,
know?
no, 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 no. We each have our moment.
Okay.
This
So
is like,
like I have a question, like so much surrender is there. Raman Maharshi, for example, Raman Maharshi was a very simple person and his teachings were very simple. But you, like Vivekananda had a charisma and his words were worldwide and they became very popular. But you getting inspired with Raman Maharshi, what is that story? Raman Maharshi, I want, can you share with Indian friends?
I think that from the very onset, when I understood God, I understood non duality and I understood Maya. I understood this cosmic illusion. So when I became familiar with Ramana Maharshi, it, you know, as well as with Ramakrishna and so many other Indian mystics, it resonated so much with me. It was like, you know, this was written for me to read. It was like, this is this, it's like this message was for me.
So, out of so many mystics who got birth in India, Gautam Buddha is there, Osho is there, Mahavir is there. I mean, how was it that Raman Maharshi, he got mine? So, I mean, how could he mesmerize you? Were his teachings or it was intuitive?
Can you repeat that? Oh, was it intuitive? No, I think I was just already immersed in Advaita, you know, in the philosophy of Advaita.
Advait, non-dual.
Yeah, in non-duality. I was completely immersed in non-duality, that it simply resonated. It was like, this is music to my ears. This is exactly the, you know, what I have been feeling, what I have been intuiting all this time.
So you were a guitarist also, as you have shared with me. So when our happiness increases, we try to express it via music. So why don't you play guitar these days? I mean, you don't get time, or I mean, it is
No.
a very good.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Unfortunately, when I finished my university studies, when I got my graduate degree and stuff, and I started working, and you get into the crazy corporate life, I completely dropped my creativity, which was painting and music. Then I have to admit, and I will tell you and your audience a little secret, that when I decided to go back to India, I said I have to face my monsters, which is go back to my painting and go back to music. Not guitar, but yes, singing. And for a while, don't ask me to sing, I was a student of a very famous Hindustani singer with a Padma Bhushan Award, my Pitaji, my Indian Pitaji, Pandit Chanulal Mishra, who was my music teacher and my Indian father, still alive and living in Banaras.
So